Hello. Zoom recording, chat. We got, hello, Devin. So you guys, I'm going to just share something not earth-shattering at all, but something that I think is, okay, Sarah, I'm going to mute you. Okay. Okay, mute all, continue, current and new. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so you guys, I have been doing Arbonne for 15 years, and I was just thinking about the different, we've already been studying on the book, the different personalities of people, right? Different consultant, different personalities that we have. And so we already automatically know that we're going to have a different way to approach things, a different way to think through things. Every single one of us comes from a different background. We brought different skills with us into this business. We have different mindsets that we have brought into a business like this. And, I will tell you that I have really, my whole adult life, I have had a mindset that if somebody else can do it, I can learn how to do it as well. And I will tell you that did not mean that I did it with complete confidence. So, I started, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Awana clubs, but I was thinking back to when I started an Awana club, and I started one in a little bitty church, and it was just because there was a church that didn't have a program. It was in Greenville, South Carolina, actually. And I thought, these kids need to have something. And so I got together what I had learned, had been raised in, and, talked with the Awana missionary, and he helped me. And I came to this church, and we got going with this Awana club. And little did I know, but by doing that small venture with those 50, 75 kids, would prepare me to do that exact same thing in a church of 2,500 people. And they had the same kind of need. And I remember going before a committee and talking about it. And I can remember the daggers, the looks that were being shot at me of how dare you, you new girl come into our church and think that you have a program that's going to actually be better than what we already have. And you guys, I was thinking about that whole situation. Like, I was physically sick and hated the idea of having to go in front of that committee. And it took me the longest time whenever I would see any of those gals that were part of that committee that I had to present that to, because it did get approved. It went through. And then my job was to find all the leaders and set up this whole entire program. My husband and I even taped the Awana floor, which was red, blue, yellow, green, circle, and square. We did all the work to have this whole big program. And I can remember every time I would walk by some of those people, I would get those same daggers that ooh, I can't believe you did this. And some of them never got over being ticked off at me. But the program had huge success. And it was worth it for me to have to experience some of the nasty looks. Why am I saying that? Well, because that we are in this Arbonne business are going to be introducing people to things, to the idea of having a get together or a virtual, or trying some new products, or getting them to understand that we're not selling them a bill of goods, but we really are sharing things that we know in our core are going to be better than anything else they use. So, as I was thinking about the different groups of people that we're with, and I actually kind of took this from a message that I heard, and I just thought, this is so fitting for us. So when we think about Arbonne people, or let's just start from the beginning. I'm brand new. I book a get together, and I am going to try to educate people. And I'm going to share this with you from my story from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Because in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, when I started Arbonne 15 years ago, I met one lady who had ever heard about Arbonne. And everybody else they just never had heard of it. Not everybody was thrilled at the idea of having a party. People did not have money. The average household income in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan was $35,000. So imagine at trying to feed a family, pay for your house payment and your car and everything else that goes along, and $35,000 to $50,000 a year. And then a lady comes in and she's trying to teach you about skincare and some healthy living products. It was really a tough battle, I will say. And I can remember the one thing that just kept me going, and that was everybody has hair, skin, and that people are taking showers. And the thing that made me excited to keep sharing was that I personally was helped by being introduced to healthy living products. I personally was very sick, along with my family, from having artificial fragrances, artificial colors, and then with vitamins, having crappy vitamins that did nothing. And so I became this really passionate person to be able to share even about our herbal colon cleanse that we had back then. And when people would say, oh, you're just trying to sell to me, I honestly could look them in the eye and say, listen, I really don't care if you buy anything tonight. I'm passionate about sharing with people the dangers of using scented candles, how it can cause depression and can cause behavior problems in children and can give you migraines and rhinitis, because we experienced it all. It causes anxiety attacks. I could care less if you bought Arbonne's RE9 anti-aging, because some of you you're not into that. Go use coconut oil, but don't use the stuff that you're buying off of Walmart or Target shelves. And from me just being able to say that, because I genuinely felt it, people started listening a little bit more. People started listening more. I will tell you guys that my average party was lucky if it got to 250 in sales. And I would hear the Oklahoma girls talking about selling sets and selling packages. And I offered them, and I had the closing sheets, but that was not what was going to get it in my community, my small community. And so I had to sell onesie twosies. Did it hurt my business? No, didn't hurt it a tiny bit. I still loved selling RSVPs, but those were always with people that were at a different level of loving Arbonne's products. My parties, the way I felt that they always were, was my introduction and my first step in. And that's where I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys so that you will understand really what it is that we need to do and the skills that we need to learn. So here's the thing, you guys, is let's look at people that we're introducing, your people that you're meeting on Instagram, your parties, your virtual events, as like this crowd, right? And what are you doing with the crowd? Your goal is just to get people to check it out. To check it out. It's not even about the sale. It's not about coming in hook, line, and sinker. It really is, I want you to check this out. And there's not a whole lot of threat by having somebody say, just check it out. I mean, I've had people say, my friends can't afford it. And I'm like, I don't care if your friends can afford it. Just let them come and enjoy a nice spa and let them be educated about something. That's what we used to call our Arbonne events, Arbonne classes. And I loved that because I felt like I was really adding value to people with giving them information, because I loved the information. So what we're doing in the very beginning is we are having these get-togethers. We're talking about the Arbonne difference, the Arbonne advantage. We're giving the Discover Arbonnes. We're doing a presentation, whatever, anywhere in that funnel that we can get somebody interested, and that's the crowd, and they're checking it out, right? Once we've told the story, once we've given some information, once we've educated a little bit about the products and about what's bad out there, because they have to know a contrast, you guys. Why is it that the things that you get from Walmart and Walgreens and Costco and all these are substandard? It's because those types of stores are looking for selling in mass productivity, and they sell economy line stuff. It's simple as that. And so if you're looking for economy line stuff and you're not the person who's looking for wellness, then you're fine. Like, keep doing it. But the people that I was talking to, and this is what I said, I'm talking to you, those of you that have rosacea like I did, because you were using a product that was messing up your face. Those of you that felt like you were going to sink down into the couch because you had absolutely no energy and had maybe 2 good days out of the month. I'm talking to those of you who want to get some extra weight off. Some of you that don't want to be told by your mother that you're looking haggard and your eyes are puckered. I mean, I'm talking to those of you who want to hear this and you don't want to have chemicals. You guys, if you're communicating that, you have to understand that it's not for the whole crowd. We're never working for the whole crowd. Linda Parker said years ago, you're just looking for the one. You're just looking for the one in the group. We don't need the whole group to follow us and fall in love and to buy into our thing. That's never going to happen. If you have a group of people that are, 5 people in a room, there's not one person out of that group of 5 that is going to say, I agree 100%. You're going to have some naysayers. You're going to have some stinkers. But the cool thing is you're going to have one that you're going to connect with. And that's the person that you're looking for. And the other ones, we want to help continue to educate and keep them in the crowd so that they still have an interest to be piqued with. So once we tell those stories and we let people try these products, this is what happens, you guys. We start getting people interested enough to hear more about the process, and they sign up as a preferred client. Now, here's the thing where I think a lot of us mess up. We sign up this preferred client, and we never rally around to help them be introduced to more products. And some of you are thinking, well, I don't want to be too salesy. I don't want to be too pushy. The goal is, you guys, if somebody was interested enough to believe in these products, they're going to be interested enough to learn about more products so that they can also be like us, where we can let our fingers do the walking and know that we have this one catalog where we can order everything from that is pure, safe, and beneficial and fits along with our standards and is going to not make us be full of toxins. When you have somebody that is excited about learning more of these products, that is where you're oftentimes going to find somebody who becomes a consultant. And a consultant does not mean a business builder, you guys. I've hoped that people would have this difference between being a consultant and a business builder. A difference would be like, think of a church attender. They're very committed to go to church, but they're not working. They're not serving. That's where the difference is, I think, between a consultant and a business builder. So a consultant still is a level of commitment where they want to keep learning about the products and they're going to share them with other people. When I first signed up in Arbonne, I was not going to do the business, not at all, but I had that consultant ID, and I was ordering and sharing with my mom and my sister and my sister-in-law and with my friends and telling them, you guys, these are the products that are going to make a difference. I've tried everything. I mean, I used to try Bag Balm, Udder Cream, Cetaphil lotion. I tried everything. Vaseline and socks. I was that girl trying to make my feet so they wouldn't crack open and bleed. And I felt like I found the golden ticket for something that finally worked. And then bonus, it was healthy. And so you guys, you're going to have a whole lot of people who are going to be like that. They're going to be the consultant who's excited and growing. You know what a business builder is? And I want to ask you, if you're this person, is you're part of the core group. You're the one who wants to know all the information. You're the person who reads the emails that Arbonne is sending. You're the person who takes your information, your appointments that you have from what is sent to you and puts it in your calendar. You're the gal who's got your alarm set because you don't want to miss out on any of the trainings that are coming up. You're the person who, when you find out that you can register for GTC on November 1st, you're already saving grocery money so that you can be one of the first people to register. You're looking for airplane tickets ahead of time. You guys, that's a person with a mindset who's in the core. When you're like, and this is the thing that I think that we have to really ask ourselves is, when I hear that there's going to be an area manager retreat on July 18th, am I already blacking that out, asking my boss for vacation as soon as it comes around for January and I got to sign it up, and planning on going because, number one, I'm going to be an area manager by that time, or number two, I already am an area manager and I'm working to be a VP, and I will not miss it because I know it's important. I know it's important not just for me, but it's also important for my team. Because if I can't educate myself to the max, I can't help my team grow to the max. And those are some of the things that make a difference with a core group. You know how Carlita talks, and Tammy and like Beth, all of you gals talk about building a dream team? The thing we have to ask ourselves, you guys, is, am I the leader of the dream team? And this is where a business builder actually steps out from being this consultant who's an attender to being an active, growing person who is driving the things. And I think that's so important, you guys, and to ask yourself, am I driving my business? Am I driving it, or am I just along for the ride? And what do you guys, like, if I was to ask you right now, like, if I was just going along for the ride, what would that look like on a weekly basis for my business? Anybody have any ideas? Type them in there so I can see. If you're a consultant and you're kind of like not driving your business, what might your week look like? Anybody have any? Waiting for others to call you. No activity on your calendar, exactly. No appointments booked. And let's say if you had some appointments booked and they canceled. You go, oh, well, everybody cancels, right? Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, you're scrolling through social media. Yep, saying, oh, well, no personal growth, no regular calling plan. Basically, yes, looking for what others post instead of posting about it yourself. See, you guys know, and you know why we know? Because we've all been along for the ride a time or two. And we go through phases of it. I would love to encourage people to really learn regrets every month. I know. And you know what I want to say about that for this month, you guys? Is don't get blue if you had a bad month this month, because you're going to take the blue and depressed into November. And you got to remember that every single month we get to start fresh. Take that back. Every single day we get to start fresh. And that's the thing that's amazing with this business, and that's the thing that's a bummer with this business. Like, if you guys were in Rodan and Fields and you lost your district, I'm just going to say this out there, you would lose all your consultants that are underneath you. Did you know that? Now, if you knew that you didn't reach your $2,500 and maintain this month, do you think you would work a little harder to get your $2,500? That might be why they were listed as one of the fastest growing businesses out there. Because if you signed up and you committed and you got to a level, if you didn't hit that level of sales, you're out of here. And you lose your downline if somebody passes you. Like we have got one of the best business plans out there, but we've also got kind of a cushy business plan. Like, we really should be at a point where we say, I am not taking that darn performance account. That is only if I am laid up in the hospital and I can't work. And I'm not counting having a baby, because If you guys were on the Discover Arbonne tonight, that was Brooklyn Nelson, who has a 3-week-old baby that was laying next to her, who went on a retreat this past weekend to Florida with her 2-week-old baby. Like, we are powerful women, and we give ourselves so many outs. And I think that we need to start rising up to be a little bit stronger and a little bit more full of moxie, and to actually earn our keep with Arbonne instead of being entitled with it. And so I want to encourage you to, tonight before you go to sleep, if you haven't done this yet this evening, to write out your top 3 things that you need to do for your business tomorrow morning. Because if you guys like me, if I don't have something written down, I will look at my calendar, look at my desk and go, well, what should I do now? But we always know at nighttime. I want to encourage you guys, when I was like building my business, men and women, you're right. You're exactly right. Men and women. It's men and women. I'm, used to the girl club. We need to be very powerful people in this business to work it how we need to work it. But the thing that I know for myself is sometimes when I am still and I am actually taking time to process and think without a phone in my hand, without background noise happening, my brain will begin to be like this brainstorming crazy woman. And that happens when you lay your head down at nighttime to go to sleep. Do you guys agree? You lay down your head at night and you get all this clarity for the whole day. And so I want to encourage you to keep a notebook next to your bed. And when you get these amazing ideas, or you get names in your head, or I carry a little notebook in my purse, so when I drive by some place of work or a neighborhood and somebody's name goes in my head, I write it down then, because you know what happens? I get home and it's gone. You guys might not be like that, but I am like that. And so an intentional business builder will always have their equipment with them to be able to be ready to work. Back in the day, you guys, we had to have samples, business cards, prospecting packets. We don't have to do all that stuff now, but we need to have something so that we can be intentional. One of the things that I want to encourage you with is to go through the process of every part of your business. I was talking with a gal today who was discouraged, and maybe you're on here, I'm not sure, but discouraged because all her parties that she booked were canceled, and now it's the end of the month. Well, number one, we have learned from some of the very best people out there in this industry, and they have always said if one thing cancels, replace it with 2. Just because it makes you feel good and it gives you a little extra power. I'm going to tell you my secret that I don't even know which national vice president said, but when Heidi started Arbonne, she said, Mom, I do not want to fail at this. Emily's doing great. Aunt Melissa's doing great. I don't want to fail. You guys have used all the relatives. That's what she said. And I said, well, you know a whole lot more people. I don't know all your friends. I don't know, whatever. And I said, okay, if you don't want to fail, you have to be the person who puts yourself into momentum. And so you need to book 20 activities. Do not stop calling until you have 20, I call them parties, 20 parties, 20 classes. And that was for 8 this month, 8 next month, and 2 within the first week or 2 of the 3rd month. And the goal is, and the game is, that you never are less than 20 activities on your calendar at any time. You guys, if you do that, you will be RVP before you know it. Because your game that you're playing with yourself is to never have a lack. Like, here's a good test. Turn your calendar over to November and look and see how many activities you have for November. Do you have 8 minimum? If you don't have 8, then you're going to have to play a little bit of catch up. So now this is what would happen, especially November and December. We need to know this. That if you turn your calendar over on December 1st, it's going to be the dickens getting activity, because everybody's going to feel crazy busy for December. But if you will call and you book up your November and you book up the first 12 days of December, you will have activity if you work ahead. And so for those of you that are serious, spend the next week, a week and a half, and do nothing but book until you have 20 activities. You know what else would be really awesome? Is if you got those people that said, oh, December's too busy, and you go, well, you know what? I'm also looking for some people in the first week of January that want to do a 30 days to healthy living and to get the Christmas or the holiday pounds off. Like, can you imagine if you had 10 groups of people ready to start that, and they were finding people, and in the first week of January, you hit the ground running like that? See, the thing is we don't even have to imagine it. We can do it. It's in our power. But this is what we do. I ran out of people. Nobody answers their phone. Nobody responds. And you guys, this is the thing that I want to share with you, is that when we keep saying that kind of stuff to ourselves on a daily basis, we actually believe it, and we don't get excited to get out there and book those appointments. So this is my encouragement to you. There was a girl underneath Emily who used to write at the top of her paper, corny as all get out, but it worked. She would put down a whole list of names and phone numbers of people she was going to contact, and across the top in bold letters she wrote, recipients of good news. Because she knew that if she was able to book a get-together, a one-on-one, anything with people, that they were going to benefit in a positive way somehow, even if it was sitting and soaking their feet and slapping stuff on their face and being treated kind like a spa night. Even if it was having a healthy happy hour and it was one night where people could go, wow, this was unlike anything else I've ever been to. And the cool thing is, you guys, you all are the difference makers in your business. Have you ever been to a spa? I was at a spa. Well, I go to spa every week getting massage and chiropractor and all this stuff. But I was listening to some ladies, and I wanted to turn around so bad and tell that lady not to buy Obagi for $400. She was like, it's not that bad. Like, I got 4 products for $400. That's what she said. I got four products for $400. And I'm like, oh my gosh, lady, people who use Obagi and switch to Arbonne love it like crazy. But this is what she was telling her friend, because her friend was like, you spent $400 on skincare? And she's like, yeah, like, I'm going to be 60 pretty soon. This is this lady. And this girl that did a facial on me said that the reason my pores are getting bigger is because of the bad products that I've been using that had bad ingredients in them. And so this is going to help clean out my pores, and it's going to help me to look younger because it's not detoxifying my skin. You guys, do you take time to explain to people at your parties what our RE9 is actually doing so that they can find out there's a benefit for them? Do you actually know why our 30 days to healthy living is so good to use? Like, if people don't know, they don't know, and they're not going to think it's a good idea. And I just say, if there's a lady who's almost 60 years old who has never been to a massage and came in because she had a gift thing and spent $400 on a skincare set, that we have an audience of people out there that are waiting to find out how to have their skin look nice and how to feel better and not to have lack of energy. You guys, our society is full of sick people, very sick people. They're depressed, they've got gut problems, and we have got all the solutions in our hand, and we selfishly keep it to ourselves. So I want to encourage you to get out of your house at least one time a week. If you don't, and you're not meeting new people, go find some place to meet people. Go to the mall. Talk to the girls who are at the nice department stores. You guys are all going to be going to GTC, and you need clothes. So this is what you say. This is what I did, you guys. I went into Christopher Banks, which was the fanciest store in the UP. And I didn't have money at the time to buy clothes, but I said, I'm just looking, but man, I am not that great at putting outfits together, and I'm going to be going to a business conference that I need to have a few outfits. I would love your help. While we're shopping, the girl would say, this would be nice, this would be nice. And I'm like, wow, you do really good at this. You must love your job. Is this your only job? And 9 times out of 10, this is what I heard in the UP. Oh no, I have 2 other jobs. You guys. Or I'd hear, oh, I'm just doing it for extra money because I got to make money because I got to la la la. This is how you open up conversations with people. It's how you do it. I met a girl at a furniture store because when I was going to be a national vice president, I was going to buy new furniture for my log home. And I said, I'm not buying today, but I'm definitely in the market and I want to look. And we started talking, and the next thing she said was, oh, could you help me? Look at, I'm getting some of these brown spots on my face. I got a client and I got a bunch of parties booked from me shopping for furniture and taking time to talk to people. So here's what I want to tell you guys, is learn to be no stranger to anybody. You be the first person to open up and just start talking to people. If you can do that, you will have a world of people at your hands. We have to learn to love every single part of this business. I remember when Legina Betts came up to the UP, she was the one that really taught me about how to talk to people out and about, because we were looking for a hotel where I could have my car presentation. I was in Qual 4 region. And so I heard how she was talking to other people about this business or about these products. If you don't know, ask to go hang around with your upline and go out shopping, and you'll learn a whole lot of things, how you can naturally bring up this conversation. At every coffee shop, any place where people are working for commission, I promise you will be able to, what did Sheila, no, not Sheila. Sonia, what did Sonia say? What was the question? You guys remember that question she said last week? I wrote it down because I thought it was so good. I have to go back and look at it. But she said, one little question, like, do you ever keep your options open for making extra money? Or something, it was something so simple like that. Who doesn't want to make extra money, especially at Christmas time? People are already out there. The other thing that I want to share with you guys is, like, when you're doing hostess coaching, do you guys all know how to hostess coach really well so that you hardly ever get a party canceled? Have you gotten to that point? If you have a lot of cancellations, I hate to say this, but it's on you. It's not your host. It's not that they don't want to, and it's not that they can't find people. It's on you. And so the good thing about that is it's on you, so you can change it and you can make it work for you. That's where you should be encouraged. So the reason it's on us, and I was the queen of this, is I would have good intentions to call my hostess and hostess coach, and I wouldn't. And all of a sudden it'd be 2 days before the party, and I'd finally hostess coach. You know, they forgot all about it. They would forget all about the hostess. Can you hear me, or did I mute myself? Oh, yeah. So they would forget all about the party, and they'd be like, oh boy, it's too late. I can't do that now. How many of you have done that? I have. So the thing that we need to do is we need to learn how to spend more time in coaching to keep the events. Gloria Schwartz did a training years ago that was how to book them, how to keep them, and how to make them count. And you guys, if you can learn that you go into every single event with an intention of education, stories, and how does it fit for that individual, you will have people that will be excited to use these products. If you will hostess coach and constantly be bringing people in, because once they say yes, that's the first step. That doesn't mean their intention is to keep it. Our goal is to make it be where they are, I'm just going to mute. There you go. Our goal is to get people to be excited for that event, to work for us, to be that business partner with us. I even have told people, listen, I'm going to treat you like a business partner for the evening. And my goal is to help you get a ton of products and to have fun with your friends. And my goal for me is to be able to get some people who might be interested in booking another event or be interested in hearing about this opportunity. And so if we are communicating to them, they're going to understand it's not this cute little party thing that you're doing. It's actually an intentional event. So all of that to be said, you guys, there's a ton of training out there. If you feel like you're struggling at booking events and keeping events, make a promise to yourself that you're going to listen to 1 or 2 learn and burns a day from SoundCloud. Do everything on scheduling and prospecting and sponsoring. Scheduling, prospecting, and sponsoring. Just type in those words and you will find a ton of information. And as soon as you listen to one and you feel really empowered, quickly pick up the phone and book something. It's hard to motivate ourselves when we're coming from an empty tank. But when you fill it up like that, you are motivated and you've got an extra surge of energy. So do you keep your options open to a second stream of income, or do you keep your options open to hearing how to make a little money? Those are just really important things. So you guys, I didn't share anything tonight that was earth-shattering at all. I just really felt that we needed to understand that there's going to be these people on the fringe, and our goal is to just introduce them, an introductory thing into what makes Arbonne different. And then they get to hear the options. But for some people, we just have to understand that it might take 4 or 5 times of being reintroduced to those options before they take bigger steps. I was one of those girls, you guys. If I didn't have Sandra follow up 1,000,000 times with me, I would not be doing Arbonne. I was a definite no thank you. Not even going to try the products. Okay, I'll try the products. No, I'm not doing the business. And I was over and over no. And I know some of you are the same way. And yet then we get discouraged when people cancel on us, when people say no, when they're not interested in hearing about the business, and then they sign up with another business 2 months down the road. It's because you planted the seed, but somebody else fertilized it and watered it with their good stuff, where we could have been the ones to keep along. So yeah, motivation doesn't last. You have to be disciplined, which is absolutely true. Motivation is, discipline is a practiced habit. So we have to, I like what Jim Rohn used to say. He used to say that it is our responsibility to go to all the things. It's to go to the library, to go to the bookstore, to go to the seminars. Because when we go to those, what's happening is we're getting new information. And when we get new information, we get excited. And when we get excited about something, we cannot sit still. Like when I get excited about, learning about Arbonne's new products, I'm like the first person to order them. Are you guys? Yeah, like this new blue tea, I can't get enough of that stuff. I love that stuff. And my favorite way is with the detox tea. It's like the most mellow, soothing, wonderful thing. And the green tea, the green ginger tea, awesome. Yeah, scheduling, prospecting, and sponsoring. Listen to those over and over and over. How do you get to the next goal? If you guys will listen with your ears, read with your eyes, read a book on leadership every single day. Like never be without reading on something on leadership, and then also choose one skill set that you need to grow on. Those are the things that the core does. And if you want to be part of the core, you guys, the core business builders, the ones who are moving our whole Arbonne business together and moving it forward, it's going to take work. It's not just being a attender. You can't be an attender and grow a business. And here's the news flash with all of this. There has to be an increase constantly. You can't be stagnant. If there's not an increase, it's because we're not increasing. It's all us. And I get excited about it when it's all us and there's nobody to blame, because we can fix it every single time. We can meet new people. We can smile and learn how to ask in a different way. We can get out of our house, meet new people. We can learn new things, and we can become better every single time. So that's just the things that I want to share with you guys, because I know there's some people who have not had the best month this month, and there's some of you that are roaring and excited, and I bet you could type out, yep, Shelly, it's because I was listening to tapes. It was because I wrote my list the night before. It was because I was following the doing your part sheet. That's my favorite sheet, you guys, doing your part, because you can't fool yourself, not even 1 month, not even 1 week. If you're filling out the doing your part sheet, you will not fool yourself. You can't just go, yeah, I'm doing Arbonne. Because if there's no blanks filled in, you're not doing, right? So anyway, you guys, have a great close to your month. We got so many things we can offer people. Like I would be telling people still, you got this free time. Even if they don't want to sign up on a whole 30-day, they can do a half of a 30-day and get a few pounds off before Thanksgiving. So many good things. Just dream them up, because we have them all in our catalog, and just set out 2 things that you're going to offer to people and watch what happens. I bet you any money you could increase $1,500 to $2,000 in sales by tomorrow if you're intentional in writing a list, who you're going to call and what you're going to offer to them. Try it, and then let me know when you have the success with it, because it works every time when we work it. So have a good night, guys.